course, but I can't have you standing here because that like kills me.
I just want to make sure it's gonna start.
Yep. It says I'm muted. Is that okay? It was unmute, mute. Just go make sure that you can hear me, I guess. And we will see. Wait a minute. For people to come on. Oh, hello, hello. Let's see. Let's go to that screen and we'll wait for people. Okay. All right. Okay, if you're joining, or if Gran, that's you for the sound check, let me know that you can hear me. And if you're just joining, I have the screen up with just the different materials we're using today. And then I'll show you the finished product in a second after a few more people join. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Good morning from the Midwest. What time is it in the Midwest right now? Is it afternoon? I always get the time zones confused. It's 10 o'clock on the West Coast. But I always forget how far ahead you guys are over there. Okay. And Kathy, if you wanted to join us today in the make along, or the sew along, it's noon. Okay. So good afternoon, Kathy. To you, good morning to me. I'm still on my second cup of coffee. I've put the measurements for today's make up in the chat, but I will put them below the video as well. We'll give a few more minutes until if more people want to join. And I am just kind of getting everything situated around me here. But I'm really here. See, there's my hand. There's my candy corn nails. All right. Hi, Debbie. How are ya? Good afternoon from Tennessee. Okay, perfect, Kathy. Yeah, it's a super easy here. I'll switch screens so you can actually see that there's a real person talking to you. Hold on, I have to go up here to switch screens. There we go. Hi, guys. All right, so today I can just get started since this is going to be a, you guys can all play this back whenever you want. Anyway, we can go ahead and get started. So today we're working on the pattern from that came with the club shipment in September, which was the Feliz Dia de los Muertos. And it is, what we're learning is how to sew a hidden zipper, which in the past has seemed like beyond confusing to me. But it was actually, I did it yesterday. It was really easy. It was a really fast project, and I have a few other fun options, I think, that you could use with it too. So, on the pattern, let's see, let me show you this first. So this is a pillow that either my mom or my sister made for me. My sister's going to yell at me if it was her that made it for me. We do a lot of flamingos back and forth together, so it's very possible that Julie made it for me, but my mom may have as well. Julie, I'm sorry. if you didn't. So this is this is another example of a hidden zipper. Now in this pattern, on the pillow back, there's a measurement 2 by 16 inches. And that is the flap that goes over and makes the zipper hidden, right? This is a little, the flap on this one to hide the zipper was, you can see it's a little bit thicker. I think it's, so you could make it as thick as you want for the hidden zipper. This is about 1.5, so this was maybe like 3.5 inches, and then fold it over. Okay, but that's like another just option. And see on this one, you can do it in, it's super cute, even if you do the hidden zipper part in a different pattern than the other two fabrics. It's kind of cute. It just looks like a stripe down the middle, right? So that's a fun one. There's the front of it. Super cute. This one was quilted. You can see it's kind of a fun summery one. Okay, so then the one I made last night, instead of doing and today I'm going to do the embroidery focus square. I've already done it. I did a few different ones. Now, as you probably know, I have an embroidery machine now, so I'm kind of obsessing with it. So I did this embroidery pattern, and I just got some of the variegated thread from Wizardry. So I used, you see, sorry, it's kind of a weird glare because it's the color shifting vinyl, but can you see it's all different? It's fun. It's all different colors on the flowers. So I did the embroidery. I'm going to use that today as my focus square, but you don't have to, right? So your focus square can be, you know, it was 6.5 by 6.5 is what we said we needed. It can be a panel. It can be embroidery. It can be just a larger print. It can be whatever you want. Okay. So I did a Hitchhiking Ghosts one from the August club. So I had a few of these panels and it turned out super cute, right? So there's I think it's better if I bring it back a little bit. There's the Hitchhiking Ghosts. I think this panel was like, I don't know, it was like 6.5 by 8 or something, and I cut it down to a square, but it fit pretty well in there. And then on the back was the Madame Leota, and then there's our little hidden zipper, right? So this one is quite, you can see it's quite a bit smaller to hide the zipper than this one, right? That's bigger of a cuff there hiding it. This one was just a little. So if you wanted to cut this a little bit bigger to give yourself more leeway on the hidden zipper, you could. Okay, but this one turned out super cute, I thought. I like the back of it because you could read all of Madame Leota's, all of what she says there. Anyway. All right, so there was my example, okay? And this is so it turns out to be about a 15-inch-ish pillow form. So depending on how, like, fluffy you want it, I guess, or how tightly you want it packed in there, I think this was a 16-inch pillow that I put inside of it in a 15-inch pillow form. So then it was, you can see it's a little bit, you know, it's pretty packed in there. But you could always go, you know, a 14-inch if you didn't want it like that. It just depends on how you like it. Okay, so there's that. And then let me switch you to, and then I was speaking of, like, you know, I said it would be really cute to have, to do that center focus square with a panel. I was looking and I just have these extra ones here from, you know, all those masks that we've been making over the last year and a half. But I thought these would be super funny in the middle. So, like, I don't know, I might do this later. So the Jaws one, wouldn't that be funny? Cut down, so these are 7 by 9 squares. I'm betting that I could cut this, or I could just adjust the pattern a little bit to make that be the focus square in the middle. Then with some, like, Jaws fabric around it. Wouldn't that be funny as a border? Also, I thought this was a funny one. That would be funny, the little pug face in the middle. Wouldn't that be cute? I don't know. I was just like, I did it with the panel focus square, and I was like, oh, that's a super cute option, and it's so easy, especially if you didn't have an embroidery machine and you don't want to do the hand embroidery on it. Anyway, it would be super cute. Okay, let's see. So we are gonna. So I used the wrong weight of thread. I know that you're supposed to use the. I don't even know what it's called from Wizardry. But I use the, here, let me go grab it, Kathy. Or was it? Yeah, it was Kathy that asked. So I use the Tex 35. I don't think we're supposed to use the Tex 35. This is just for domestic machines. So I originally got this on pre-order before, and this is the I Smell Children version. So it's kind of it's the cute one. It's the Hocus Pocus one. But I ordered this kind of on a shopping binge, probably in, I don't know, like June or July when they did the pre-order. And I ordered it for because this is a domestic machine, weight. And I have a Baby Lock, Presto 2. Yeah. So I ordered this one without having an embroidery machine. Then I got my brother, what is my brother? The PE 800. And I just decided that I would try to use it, see if it worked, and it did. So I know it's not the correct embroidery thread. I think it's like Tex 25 or Tex 20 something is what they recommend for the embroidery thread. I don't know. This worked. So, and I can only have so much thread in my life. So this one worked just fine, I thought. Yeah, both of those are domestic. Yeah, so I guess that, I don't know, maybe it doesn't matter. I know they list, it definitely be used along with Text 25. Okay, good. Because I don't need to order, like, so many different kinds of threads. I already have a ton of thread. And with this new embroidery machine, I've gotten, all of the polyester versions, the glow in the dark, the neon, all the things. So this is great that this will work too. Because also, let me say, I really wanted some of the thread from Wizardry, and I ordered like 3 or 4 different unicorn manes and then had to resell it on their buy sell trade site because I could never figure out what was the correct thread for my machine. So I kept ordering them and then selling them again and then ordering. I mean, I did it like at least 3 times. So I'm glad finally that I found something that worked. My goodness, right? All right. So let's look at the actual pieces here. Let me switch you over. Okay. So here we go. Also, look at this nice new cutting mat, you guys. So I ordered, my cutting mats are a disaster. And I ordered just this off Amazon the other day because I've always had the OmniGrid cutting mats. And they are, I mean, they get worked big time with all the cutting that I do. And so I just went and I ordered this off Amazon, and it's a Work Lion, it's called. It has inches on one side, and then if you, I don't know if you can see, but if you flip it over, it flips over to centimeters, 90 by 60 centimeters, or you can do 36 by 24 inches. So I use inches. But I opened it last night and was like, holy cow, this thing is heavy. And it is like, I wish I had a OmniGrid here to show you guys. It is like triple. Oh, let me see. Yeah, I kind of do. I have one that's thinner. Well, this isn't as thin, but I feel like the OmniGrids are so freaking thin that they, see, look at that. Can you see it? Let's see. Maybe? It's like triple thick. It has 3 layers. 1, 2, 3. And it was super heavy. So I'm thinking that maybe this brand is the new cutting mat for me. Because I've been slicing completely through cutting mats, especially with the new razor, like the big old razor blade long cutter that I have to cut vinyl. I've been slicing cutting mats completely in half. It's been a mess. So I'm hoping that this one, because it's so thick, is going to be better. So it's Work Lion. And if anybody wants to know which one I got exactly, I can leave the link for you at the end of the video in the Amazon link. It was like, I don't know, it was like 30 bucks. It was, I thought it was cheaper than the OmniGrids too. So I've always used OmniGrids because that's what you, or not OmniGrids, Olfa. Is it Olfa or OmniGrid? No, Olfa's the cutter. Yeah, OmniGrid. Correct. I've always used OmniGrids. I use their rulers. I use, you know, that's what you find in the quilt stores and fabric stores. So, but anyway, I was excited to find this new one. So we'll see how good it works. Okay, so here's what we need for this project. We need a focus square, which we've kind of already talked about. Okay, so this is my focus square. You could do whatever you want for your focus square. This is a fun one. This is just laying on my, and this is not my fabric or anything that I've designed, but this is a fabric that we bought last year. But that would be a super cute focus square, right? So you can really use whatever you want. That would be cute because it's like kind of a bigger print. So you can do whatever you want for it. It's fun. It's easy. Okay. So there's the focus square. Now, then you need 4 of these, and they are the border. It's going to be the border around the focus square. So they, you need 5 by 11 inch, and it is, you need 4 of them. So you could do all different patterns if you want. You can do 2 different patterns, which is what I did. I have found it easier to do, if you're going to do more than one pattern, to do it, to do a non-directional with a directional. And you'll see later why. So I did, this one's non-directional, this one's obviously directional because the words, 4 of those, 5 by 11. And then you need a, the backing, okay? So for the pillow backing, you need 2 of these, and they are 8.5 by 16. Okay, and to go with it, you need some cotton woven interfacing. So I used just SF101, and I have already actually cut this and attached it to the back because I just like to do it first thing. It just is easier to get it out of the way. So these are already interfaced 8.5 by 16. Okay. And this is going to be your hidden zipper part. Now, this is what you need. You know, originally this was, and this is another step. I just did it ahead because I like to do that. Get it over with. This is 2 by 16. And then you're going to end up folding it in half. Okay, so you don't have a raw edge on that hidden zipper. Okay, so this originally was 2 by 16, even though it doesn't look like it right now. Okay, and that's going to be what hides the zipper. And then, of course, you want to do, or you want to have a 20-inch zipper. Now, if you're in the fabric club, this came with your club. So you should have that available to you. And also, if you're in the fabric club, you should have gotten this file for free. If you didn't download that yet, look in your email. I sent an email, I think last Sunday, with a link to the download for this file. Or if you do not have an embroidery machine, in the club, I gave you some like DMC floss to do it as hand embroidery instead. Okay, and on the tutorial, the recorded tutorial that my sister did, she kind of talked through a little bit how to do the hand embroidery, and then she gave you an option too on how to like color it in with crayon. So that's a cool option to do. You could do it with your kid too. That would be fun. Okay, so the only other thing, and let me show you this real quick. So on my, I'm going to turn around one more time here. Okay, on this one, I forgot to mention this before. So I actually ended up interfacing this guy too, just because it was kind of, it felt like a thin-ish panel. So Here, I have another one to show you. It just kind of felt like a little bit thin, so I was like, well, why not just interface it and give it a little, make it a little sturdier in the middle there. So I used just SF101 again and interfaced this as well to give it a little more structure. But today I'm going to be using the vinyl, so I'm not going to be worrying about interfacing that at all because it already is thick, right? It's vinyl. All right, so let's get started. Is there anything else I need to do? Maybe drink a cup of coffee. Does anybody have any questions? Let's see. You can see the difference in the mat. It's crazy, right? I bought another mat. Well, you can't see it right now because it's like, again, like I said, I chopped it up completely. Not intentionally, but it just, I sliced it right in half. So it's actually now a really thin mat, long mat, that's underneath my sewing machine right now. But I'm hoping that that this new, what did I say it was? Work Lion. I'm hoping the new Work Lion works better because I do a lot of cutting. And especially, you know what I was really realizing it was last year when we were cutting all of those masks and I was cutting so many 7x9 size masks. So like there was like certain parts of my cutting mat grid, right, that were just so overly worn out because you cut the same spot all the time over and over, and it just gets so worn so quickly. And then once that's done, you know, it's like your mat's total crap after when it has those divots all in it and whatnot. So anyway, okay, let's see, any questions? Tech 27, Debbie, thank you. That is what it was. As long as you were using the right weight in the bobbin, I wouldn't use it for freestanding lace. Yeah, okay. Text 27, both upper and bottom thread. Okay. Louise, I didn't know that was you. Lulu who? I'm not used to seeing that is your name. I did not know. Well, it's good to have you here, Louise. How's your shoulder doing? Lulu Who. What a cute name. Cindy Lou Who. That's what kind of what it reminds me of. That's probably what you got it from, huh? All right. I am lucky. I think Debbie said as long as I'm using the right weight. I'm lucky because my bobbins, I get to use the same weight, the same bobbins for my baby lock and my brother because I guess somebody was telling me that somehow they're related. Like same manufacturer, baby lock is just higher end parts than brother, of course. But anyway, so it's the same bobbin, so I just use the same thread in both, and it works great for me. Yeah, so far. All right. So, okay, let's do it. So I'm going to switch you back over. We can get started. This is like super easy. So let's see. Here we go. Okay, back to the screen. Let me move this stuff up a little bit. Okay, so first what you're going to do is you need to set up how you're going to do your border pieces, right? Now, be patient with me because this is like actually upside down to me because I want to make it right side up for you, if that makes sense. Okay, so you're going to take your focus square here and you're going to just figure out your placement of, and we can take these off. You're going to figure out your placement of the border pieces around your focus square. I feel like I needed to use like a heavier weight interface or like the maybe the no-show cutaway or something on that because it's like kind of puckering. Anybody with embroidery experience that knows why that's doing that? It was kind of a heavy pattern. I know there's a lot of thread involved in there, but I'm wondering, I floated the vinyl on the top. I think I used Tearaway, but I'm wondering if I should have used something heavier. Anyway, okay, we'll go with it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to plan the placement. So with these, obviously since these are the directional we don't want them going like that, right? Because that just wouldn't make as much sense. All right, so we need to figure out how these will go. So I'm going to put this one on the top, and then these are non-directional, so they're a little bit easier. Right? Oh, it goes this like this. Okay, and it's going to be a little bit off, right? Because we're accounting for seams. So don't worry. Last night it was confusing me when it was like not exactly lining up when I was laying it out. It's totally fine. We're accounting, we need to account for seams and all of it. Okay, so if you're doing directional, you want directional on the top and the bottom, right? So that you can read it. Non-directional, that's why I was saying before, it's easier to have the non-directional here. Now I suppose you could cut, if you wanted to use like all over directional pattern, I suppose you could cut it so that these ones are going the same as this. You see what I mean? So the Viva La Vida is still, you know, going the same, the writing's still going the same direction. But, I don't know, I think it's fun to have a couple different varieties here too. Okay, so what you're going to do is label. My sister, when she did this tutorial, she said it's probably the easiest to label. Okay, so let's just do that. Because she said so, so I'm going to do it. And you don't necessarily have to, but like last night when I was doing it, all 4 of my border pieces were the same. And they were all non-directional, so it didn't matter quite as much for me to label these. But since that's not the case today, I'm going to label them. All right. So A is going to be on the left side here. B is the top. Okay. C will be the right side. And D, of course, will be the bottom. Okay. And you know what I'm going to do, because those Post-its aren't really sticking, I'm just going to clip it. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start with our A piece and the focus square. And we are going to sew a 1/4 inch seam. Okay, so that is, here's what we want it to look like when it's done. Okay, for now, we're just going to take these, set them over here. We know what goes with what. Okay, we're going to take this and we're going to flip it right sides together, and we're just sewing a 1/4 inch seam right here. Now, here's the only thing, and this is important. You're going to, well, let's clip it a little bit first. Oh, I need more clips. Okay. And this is a bit, it's probably more important to, I don't know if I clipped it last night. I'm kind of lazy about clipping sometimes, which is probably why I don't always get straight lines. But this vinyl is a bit like slippery on the top, so it might be more important to clip. Okay, so here's what we're doing. Okay, sorry, I just had to flip that just to make sure I'm doing it correctly. So you're going to take a ruler and a pen, and you're going to clip it, okay? We're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam here, okay? But you want to mark 1 inch from the bottom of where that vinyl or your focus square is, 1 inch up. So I'm going to flip it over and do it this way just because it's easier for me real quick. And then I'll show you. So there is about 1 inch, and you're just going to draw a line, okay? Okay, so it's about 1 inch up from the bottom. Draw a line across. You're going to sew that 1/4 inch seam from the top to the line and stop right there, Okay, so you're not going to sew. It's going to be like a little flap right there. And there's a reason for doing this that we'll show later. Okay, so let me switch and do that real quick. Okay, let's go over here. I'm going to sew from this direction. I'm going to actually start at the red line. I'm like notorious for not sewing. Okay. And I'm going to do just one, like 2 back stitches just so it doesn't get all wonky on me. Okay. Easy peasy, right? Okay, so now, here we are. So see, just that 1/4 inch seam, 2 right there. Okay, there you go. Now, what you want to do is, I can take that A sticker off because now it's attached and I know what it is. Okay, you're going to kind of press this out. Now, I'm going to have to be careful because, of course, this is vinyl and it will melt, and that would be a disaster. So I'm going to just try to press as little as I can on the actual cotton woven. It's a little trickier. See, that was the other thing, too, last night. I did this on, it was a cotton woven panel in the middle, so I could just press to my heart's content, right? Okay. Just press just a little bit here. I'm kind of obsessive compulsive about pressing. I mean, I like my seams to be nice and flat, and it will drive me crazy if they're not. Kind of like taping. I don't know if any of you notice, I kind of tend to over tape boxes when I ship them. That too. Okay, so here we go. This, oh, now see, I pressed the cotton woven too much here. Hold on. Okay. So, here's what we have. You can see there's like a little flap here, right? Okay, now we're going to take our B piece and we are going to lay it down. Okay, and we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam. Okay, and we don't have to worry about marking a 1/2 inch or anything, or an inch away from the end. We're going to stitch the entire thing. Just make sure that when you do it, that you flip it and make sure that it's the, it's going the right direction, right? Okay, again, I'm going to clip it just because it's good practice too, even though my problem is that I like to rush things sometimes. Well, all the time. Because I don't have enough time. And then I don't end up clipping stuff, and then I don't end up sewing a correct seam allowance. And then everything ends up all wonky in the end. Okay, so let's go in the right direction. Just a 1/4 inch seam. Let's do that. We're good. We're good. Okay. If you guys do, after you do this first one, it was so fast last night for me to do this. I could have whipped up like a lot of them all at once, I bet. Especially if you have everything cut. All right, let's go back to, there we go. Okay, here we are. I'm gonna just take this and press it very carefully again towards the border. Okay, so you can kind of see on the back here. All right. Carefully not touching the vinyl. Sometimes I try, like when I'm doing this, like you can press it right here up too, right? But that vinyl is so, and some vinyl it does well, it does okay. But I'm not willing to test the color changing vinyl. But sometimes it helps if I like pull the one side while I'm pressing. See? Okay. Okay, so now we need side B, right? Oh, I should flip it so you guys can see it. Now we need side B, side C. Okay? And then we're gonna just flip it, just like we did with the others, easy peasy. We're gonna do another 1/4 inch seam. Ooh, it looks like I mismeasured or something right there, huh? It's okay, it's totally going to come up fine in the end. Okay, and it's kind of like a puzzle piece, so you can see, right? Here's where the last one's going to go. All right, 1/4 inch seam again. All right. Here we are now. All right, so here we've got it. Let's see. Press the fabric with the vinyl underneath and you're fine, all of which you probably know, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yep. My shoulder is meh. Aw. Man, you can't do anything? All right. So there we go so far. Okay. So I'm going to press it again real quick. And then we'll have our last piece. Okay, so our last piece to sew down, what we're going to do is first clip this little flappy guy up. Okay? So he just stays out of the way for now. Okay? We don't want to sew him down yet. Okay? And you're going to take your final border piece, so that's D. Whoop! It'll stick in. It won't stick to the fabric, but it'll stick to me. Okay? And you're going to, again, flip it right side together and line it up with the bottom. Okay? Clip it. We're going to do, again, it's all 1/4 inch seams in this pattern. You know what I was thinking would be really cute is, I don't know if you all know, we're going to do a 1/4 inch seam right here. I don't know if you all know my, the Mom Goals, fabric that I did. A lot of you have probably seen that. It's the seagulls from, Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. But instead of saying mine, 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 they're saying mom, 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 mom. They're super cute. I don't know if I have any. Sometimes I have them like right here to show. I don't know if I have any right now. Anyway, I was thinking what would be super cute is to have those, like to do an embroidery. Wouldn't this be cute for, like for Mother's Day next year? To do an embroidery pattern of like the mom gulls here saying like mom, 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 mom. And then that mom gulls fabric all around the outside. That would be super cute. I was thinking about that. That was something I was thinking about in the night when I was awake, not sleeping. As I'm sure you all do. Okay, here we go. 1/4 inch seam. Oh, I hope I checked to make sure. Yes, it reads correctly. That would be just like me to do it so quickly that I didn't check it, and then it would be upside down. Also, sometimes I go too fast when I'm sewing. Does anybody else do that? I go way too fast and then my seams get all wonky that way. Okay. Here we go. So it should look like that. We have the bottom now attached. So let's go back to here. We still want to keep this up. I'm going to just give a little quick press to this seam. And then I'll show you how to get this going. Okay. So, oh, it's just killing me that I can't press this flat. Okay, here we are. So, now we have this all done, right? Except we need to attach this. So what you're going to do, whoops, I just dropped a clip. What you're going to do is fold this over. So the left side, just fold it over. You can kind of see, and it's okay that this isn't like laying like flat up here. Don't worry about that. You're just going to follow your seam all the way down. So there's a little bit of extra here on my end. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to, because if I try to move it over at this point, like this, do you see it's going to like bunch right here, right? And it's going to be all wonky. So I'm just going to continue in my line down. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm just going to clip it. Actually, I could also trim it. Let's just trim a little bit of it. You're probably not supposed to do this, but I'm going to do it. Okay. I'm going to just trim it even. Dang it, it's my pillow. I can do what I want, right? Okay, there you go. Now we can do a truly 1/4 inch seam. Okay, so we're just going to sew all the way down. And that'll attach it. Okay. And then this is going to be, our pillow front's going to be completely done. Like I said, once it like, you get it and you get all the pieces cut out and everything, all of a sudden it just comes together super quick. Okay, so you can see, there's the pillow front. Okay. Back to here, I'm going to just press that little bit that I just sewed. Don't get the vinyl, Katie. Don't get the vinyl. Okay, here we go. So pretty, right? How fun is that? So this is kind of like quilting. You see some quilting blocks that are put together like this too, right? With the center focus square. I mean, you could easily make this into a quilt, I suppose. Oh, how fun would that be? That would be really fun if you did a quilt. You could do all different kinds of focus squares, but like on the same theme. And then these borders around it would be super cute. Okay, so there's the front. Now we need to do the back of the pillow. All right, so we have, let me make sure I'm reading the directions so that I don't mess you guys up. All right, so we have our two 8.5 by 16. Okay, and if you didn't interface them, you're going to want to interface them. I've already done that. Okay, and we have our 2 by 16 strip. Okay, now also, I'll do this so you can see it. Also, if you haven't folded this in half yet, that's what you're going to do. So you're going to take your 2 by 16, fold it in half, and press it. Okay? All right, so if there's a top and a bottom, dependent on what fabric you have, make sure that you know that. All right. Okay, and you're going to take, so this, it doesn't really matter for me because the top and the bottom are about the same, right? So you can put the top to the side for now. Okay, and you're going to take your zipper and we're going to attach this, okay? So the first thing that you need to do before you attach the zipper, we don't want any raw edges right here. So you want to, along the top edge of the bottom panel, you're going to take it and just fold over a 1/2 inch and press it down, okay? That's going to get rid of our raw edge. So let's do that real quick. I have a new setup in my garage, you guys. So I kind of like moved stuff around and I'm hoping that this is going to work better for you all to like see what I'm doing. So let me know what you think. Is it easier to like see what's going on the mat and everything now? And on like the camera when I hold stuff up, I've kind of like, I don't know, I feel like every few months I completely reorganize my space. I get antsy. All right, so here we are. Okay, so this is now pressed a 1/2 inch. Okay, and you're going to take it and we're just going to top stitch really close here to like 1/8 of an inch, okay? Just a top stitch right here along the zipper, okay? And I'm going to clip it just to hold it in place for the, to start. Probably start by clipping it here in the middle and then clip out a little bit. Or I guess you could, use pins too. I'm kind of lazy about pins and I always end up poking myself, so I use these clips a lot more. As much as I possibly can. Okay, so I'm just going to clip it so that it more or less holds it in place. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. All right. Okay, and so I'm just going to take it. Now I know it looks a little bit wonky, but as you sew, you can kind of move it, so that it's even. So again, just 1/8 of an inch top stitch. After I do that 1/8 of an inch top stitch, I'm going to do another one that's 1/4 of an inch away. Okay, just to like reinforce it. All right. Let me see. Whoop. Okay. Here we are. We're back. Let me see. What did you guys say? Where'd you get your pressing ironing mat? So the mat that I have is just a Cricut. It's a Cricut, I don't know, Cricut mat, I guess. You can see how stained it is. Ew, that's disgusting. But I have a big one and I have a small one, so it's kind of nice. And it's just for the, the Cricut heat press and stuff, but I found it even more useful now for my, like when I'm sewing stuff and I don't want to go back and forth to my machine. I don't know, it was like probably $30 or so. Oh yeah, Kathy, I bet you could use double-sided tape too. It's not, I don't know. I didn't find that it's not a handbag. I feel like handbags are a little bit more like, I need to be a little bit more precise with. Oh, and obviously, folks, you need to take this off. You need to take your 1/4 inch zipper foot off and put on your, silly me. And you need to put on your zipper foot, right? So it's not going to get all jacked up. Actually, I'm going to go this way with it. Okay. So, yeah, double-sided tape would definitely probably work. It just depends how precise you want to be. And a lot of times I find that I might not be as precise as the next person. And for this, it's just kind of a silly, fun project. And see, you can see kind of, I don't know if you can see my hands. It's pretty easy for me to like hold it and guide it. With purses, a lot of times, you're like trying to guide a lot of parts under and through your machine. And so I think it gets really hard to hold the zipper in place to where it's supposed to be. But this is just a single straight line you're sewing, so it's not too bad. Okay, so there's my first line. Okay, my first little top stitch. I'm going to just do one more a little further over, just to give it a little more stability there. My top stitches are not perfect. They're a little bit wonky, but that's okay. And it's just a fun little pillow. And the zipper is going to be hidden in the long run, so added bonus, right? It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. It's going to be hidden. Okay. So, here we are. Let's switch you to the main. All right, so here we are. Let me just see 2 times of top stitching. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the mat. Okay. And now we are going to end up sandwiching our zipper. Okay, so you need to we're going to sandwich the folded piece and the top piece, right, with the one that we already have sewn with the zipper. So you're going to do raw edges of the panel and folded strip, and the folded strip even with the left edge of the zipper. Okay, so take this, and we don't have to worry. We can leave the zipper closed right now. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, so you're going to take this. Okay, and then you can see, well, maybe you can't see. Oh, okay, so that's something good to note. Look, you guys, I was just sandwiching like this, except that would make my print upside down, right? So, what do I do? There we go. Okay, so that's something good to note, right? When you are sandwiching your middle little hidden, I don't know, what do you call this? The hidden cuff or something? Hidden, I don't know, hidden piece. That's going to hide your zipper. Make sure that it's the correct side, right? Okay, so, and it's not going to be upside down, because then obviously it's not as hidden, right? Okay, so then sandwich the raw edge, okay, and the raw edge of, wait, okay, make sure that goes the right way, okay, and you're going to clip it all together. Now first, I'm going to clip these. I'm going to clip this first, just so I can make sure that did anybody see my candy corn nails? Do you guys like my candy corn nails? I got these done last week. I like to be themed. I go get my nails done, like probably once every 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And the lady that does my nails thinks I'm nuts, because every time I come in, I have like a picture off of Pinterest. And I ask her, I'm like, can you do this for me? She's always like, yes. I'm like, well, tell me I'm annoying sometime, and you don't have to, like, you can always say no. All right, so I'm going to sandwich now this piece. Okay. Okay, and then just clip that in place. And then we're just going to end up sewing another 1/4 inch seam. Okay. Now, when I did it on my Haunted Mansion pillow, I didn't sew it quite as close as I did that first seam. So I might try to get a little bit closer into the actual zipper this time. Okay. So it's all clipped in place. Right? So make sure you don't have raw edges visible here when you flip it. Make sure it's all going the correct direction. Okay, and we're just going to do a seam along here, and then we'll pretty much be done, y'all, with my, with this, pillow. Okay. So I'm going in just a little bit more this time than I did the last time, a little closer to the middle. Just make sure everything stays sandwiched. And you can kind of feel where your zipper is. Oh, I'm going to end up knocking things down here. Hold on. Okay, let's see if Katie did this right. Okay, so let's switch you to the main camera. There's my seam along the top. And then if you open it up. Okay, so here it is. If you open it up, you can see, right? So here's that little flappy flap. Okay, now what I'm going to do and what my sister suggested in her pattern, I'm going to sew this flap. I'm going to just do like a teeny tiny top stitch along the top just to help sew this guy like down so I can make sure he's going the right direction. Okay, so I'm going to do that real quick. Let's switch you back there. So and actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to just press it real quick. Make it easier. Let's switch you over. Okay. So I'm just going to take this. See, because it could work this way. You're going to end up sewing it, seaming it all around 4 edges with the top panel. But I feel like it just helps it stay down. It encourages it to go the right direction. So I'm just going to top stitch just like right by the seam that I made. Okay. Well, now see, I did this. Now when you like press it and you get too wild with your pressing and then you get little puckers, that's what I just did. Okay, so I'm going to just top stitch right along here. Alright. Just a teeny little stitch. You could even probably just stitch in the ditch here. Right in the seam, and that would probably work, but... Oh, now see what happened? Huh. My thread has come undone. My baby lock needs to be serviced so badly. For a while, my baby lock was being so finicky. I have this nice little, thing right here. It self-threads itself. But for a while, it's so finicky. I never know if it's going to actually self-thread itself or not. Half the time, it's like a 60-40 chance that it actually works with me. I think it just gets pissy sometimes, Okay, so I'm doing just a teeny, tiny top stitch to keep it in place. You know what, I'm not even meaning to, I'm ending up stitching in the ditch right now. But we'll see, I think that'll be fine. Like I said, we just want to encourage that little flap to be heading the correct direction. Okay. Yeah, see, that's better. It's heading the right way now. It just lays. See, it's laying more flat. It's not like kind of. Okay. So there's your back. All right. Now, what we want to do, we're almost like done with the entire thing, right? So let me switch you back over to the mat. I'm going to just give this one more light press because I like to press things. It makes me... I like the perfection of pressing. I think that's what it is, right? Okay. So, now all we have to do is pull the zipper. So here's our zipper. Nice and hidden, right? Okay, you're going to want to pull this in towards the middle, right? Obviously, otherwise you won't be able to, once you stitch around the entire thing and close the close it with the front panel of the pillow, you won't be able to birth it and turn it right side out, right? So, open the zipper, okay? My sister in her video, she clipped it, you know, on the edge here to keep it together. When I did it last night, I just stitched over, which is what I'm going to do now. I just stitched over the zipper a little bit to keep that zipper together. I mean, just be careful. Hopefully I don't break a needle right here because that would stink. But my machine does pretty well going over zippers, so yeah, that's fine. Just to hold that thing together. Okay, so now we need to trim off the zipper. Okay. And where are my gingers? My gingers are like these things. They're kind of uncomfortable to, if you're like cutting a bunch of stuff, but if you need to get through something thick like a zipper, whew, these babies, man. Look at that. I love them. Okay, so it's a little wonky and it's a bit uneven, right? It's totally fine. What we need to do now is probably trim it down a little bit. Yep. Okay, so you'll be able to see. There's the front. You can see the overhang. Okay, so I think when I trimmed it, let's look at it. I believe the front panel, let me throw out these scraps real quick. I believe the front panel piece is about 15¼ inches, maybe 15½, 15¼ to 15½, because we're thinking it's going to be about a 15-inch pillow, right? Oh, this one's a little shorter. Okay, so this one's like 15¼ right now. So this guy will be a little bit less, and that just might be me on the seam allowances, guys. So I'm going to trim 15¼ Okay, it's about a 15¼ square. So I'm going to trim this pillow backing to 15¼ Okay. And right now, good Lord, it's almost 17 inches. Okay. So just try to keep it like, you know, the zipper kind of in the middle still when you're trimming. But again, I'm like, it doesn't have to be perfection, right? It's just a pillow. It's just a fun sew. It finally feels, why can't I line this up, guys? It finally feels like it's a brisk, like fall weather here. And it's supposed to rain. And, okay, I know that I'm not supposed to cut towards myself. I'm going to end up like gouging myself with a rotary cutter at some point. It's a terrible habit, and I know I shouldn't do it. So, if you're going to tell me that, I already know. It's just a bad habit. I'll try. See, I do not cut it straight when I go the other way, the way that I'm supposed to go. I need to like practice it and create a better habit for myself. All right, so there's 15 that way. I've got to do about I'm just going to cut it off from this side. Just one side. Yeah. See if I, let's see. Now this I might need to, yeah. This one I had to like help a little bit with my hair because it's the zipper part. But there you go. Okay, so now this should all be about the same size. Right? Perfecto-ish. Perfecto-ish. Okay, so now we're going to take it and we're just going to, now make sure, before you sew this together, make sure that you have the zipper open enough so that you can, you know, birth it through. But we're just going to take this and sew it. Look at all my wonky seams, you guys. How terrible. See? You know what? Nobody's going to know in the end because it's just a pillow. And the pillow's going to be, it's all going to be on the inside hidden. Okay, so just pin this real quick. Or pin it, clip it, pin it, whatever you want to do. Or if you're feeling chaotic like I usually am, don't pin it, don't clip it at all. This was such a nice change from, I've been shipping Fabric Club. Oh look, see it's a little bit long over here, that's alright. I've been cutting and shipping Fabric Club shipments all week. Still doing it, not quite done. If you haven't gotten a shipping notification yet, and you're in the Fabric Club, it's possibly because I don't know which theme you wanted. So especially for those people that joined, oh, I'm going to put my 1/4 inch foot back in. If I can find it. Where did my 1/4 inch foot go? Oh, there it is. For those people that joined the Fabric Club, like towards the end of September, just in time for the Christmas shipment, I may have not gotten your choice for the theme. So we had 2 themes for the Christmas shipment, which is the one that I just sent out this weekend. The themes were Surf's Up Santa and classic Christmas vibes. And if you didn't let me know, or if you didn't get a shipping notification from Shippo, first check your junk mail, because sometimes it gets sent there. And then, if you still can't find it in your junk mail, it's probably because I don't know what your choice was of theme. So, look out for an email from me later today, because I'm going to try to reach out to all those people that I never heard from on the theme and get your choices, because I'm looking at a ton of fabric right now, of Fabric Club fabric. I should have enough to fulfill everybody's theme wish. So, hopefully, I can get in touch with you. Make sure that you get what you want, right? And then I'll probably even have extras if you guys want to purchase the opposite theme of, you know, what your choice was the first time. And these the Fabric Club that I shipped out right now are for the charges were run on September 21st. So you guys weren't charged. If you got a shipping notification, you weren't charged for that last night. That was just to confirm that the order, you know, was complete and your club is shipping. You were actually charged for it on September 21st, right? Because I have to run the club, you know, like 3 or 4 weeks before actual shipping so that I can make sure that I have enough product, right? So it's like a backdate. It's kind of almost like a pre-order, right? You're paying for it up front and then you're getting it a few weeks later. I think we're all used to pre-orders by now. Okay, I am just sewing a 1/4 inch seam around this whole thing, and you can sew all around. You don't have to worry about leaving anything open because we can. Uh-oh, you're mad at me. Because we can turn it through the zipper, right? So we don't need to worry about leaving any edge open. Ooh, I'm excited about this one. This is a fun one. I'm gonna go put it on my couch. Uh-oh. You know what? I started a little bit short of the corner right here. Okay. So now go ahead, you're pretty much done, you guys. Just clip your, let's see. We just need to clip these corners, just like we would for turning. Just make sure that you don't clip the actual seam, because I have done that a lot of times. It's super annoying. I used to do it all the time when I was like trying to make masks too quickly. And then when you try to turn it and poke out the corners, then you poke through it. It's distressing. Okay. All right, let's see what this baby looks like. So you want to take this, just turn it, poke out the corners. Man, this is a short one today. I've only been on for like an hour. That first time we did that so long, man, it's like 3 hours. Maybe I'm just getting a little bit more concise and better at it. You guys don't need to suffer and hang with me for 3 hours at a time on a Sunday. All right. Woo! Look at this, how cute it is. Okay. Now I need an extra pillow. I wonder if I can stuff it with that pillow from the flamingo. Okay, take it, poke out your corners. You know what I'm also using? Okay, so when I poke out my corners, let me switch you again to my phone. I think it'll be easier to see. So I have tried so many different things in poking out corners. That is the purple tool that some people swear by. I have like a stick that I use. Where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. And I have these are like my tools. By the way, these are the best scissors ever. Especially for embroidery and cutting those little threads, folks. These are I think it's Karen Key Buckley or something they're called. I just ordered them off Amazon. They're like 15 bucks and they're like teeny tiny, but like sharp as all get out. They're also the ones, if you saw on Facebook a few weeks ago, that Wanda ate. So I had to order new ones. Okay, so I use this one, this stick thing. Just like a wooden, I don't know where I even got it. I use that sometimes to poke out corners, but it's kind of like sharp. Sometimes it like pokes like through. This, if like it's a delicate corner, okay. But for vinyl, if I'm poking through vinyl, especially on like, I've been doing those embroidery, like I've been obsessing, as you know, with the embroidery. Oh my God, look at how cute this one is. I forgot I even did this one. How cute is he? Anyway, so poking out the corners for like these poop bags and stuff is a pain in the butt. And this thing, it's plastic, so it just you can already see like where it's bending. It just like bends and like I've broken one of them already. So this is a Cricut. This is what I've been using to poke out like the vinyl, the tough vinyl like this. It's a Cricut. I think it's just the it's the old school, not embossing tool. The old school, what tool is this? It's the one that you like, that the Cricut uses to like fold edges and stuff. So if you're like doing cards, like this little piece, this little point right here, it creates that crease in the card. What do you call that? I don't know. Anyway, it's an old school Cricut tool, and it is, see, it's like kind of pointed, but it's not like a scissor at the end, or like a, right? Like a razor blade. But it pokes through these freaking corners like magic. And it pokes them out so nicely, and it doesn't bend and break. So, I have several different tools that I'm using these days for poking out corners. For this one, I'm just going to use the purple tool. Purple, what do they call it? Purple thingy. Because these corners aren't any big deal to poke out. They're just cotton woven, right? Alrighty. Okay. Let's take these. There's some threads poking through here. And then let's stuff it, huh? Okay, I'm gonna take the pillow out of, let me put all this stuff away. I'm gonna take the pillow out of that flamingo one. Because I think it's the same size that I need. See, and see how, look at how like firm it gets. I'm betting this is the same exact size. This pillow form needs to be washed anyway. Oh look, we got some extra here. Alright. Now you could obviously also just stuff it with stuffing. Oh! I bet my mother did this one for me. So it looks like she took extra stuffing and she did. And she put it in the corners to make sure the corners poke out, which makes sense because on this one, I did not do that on this one. And you can see these corners are kind of, flimsy. So I think she just took it and just pushed extra into the corners so they stayed nice and firm. All right, sounds like something my mom would do. Okay. So let's do, open the zipper. Come on, get in there. I'm gonna kind of wrestle with it a little bit, right? Yeah, you know what? That's actually a good idea. With the So I'm going to take this. I'm going to just stuff it into the pillows. Kind of lose their form too, I'm going to push a little bit right here. Make sure those corners stay out. Okay, zip it up. If I can get it zipped up. Oh. Make sure not to catch the pillow when you're zipping it. Okay, here is, look at how cute that is. That is a hidden zipper. Whoop. What do you guys think? Isn't that cute? See, and there's our little flap. And it totally is camouflaged in there, right? Cute. And you know what? I know I was complaining like the whole time about this puckering. It doesn't even pucker so bad anymore. It doesn't look so bad when it's all, pulled with the pillow. Okay, let's switch you to the big camera. Okay. What do you guys think? I haven't even finished my cup of coffee yet. We are done. Louise, you like it? Embossing tool. I was maybe saying engraving tool. Was I trying to say engraving? Yes, it's the embossing tool, Kathy. You're right. But man, it has been such a little fun extra that I have so many tools here hanging next to me. And I was trying to find something that wouldn't cut through the vinyl, but it wouldn't actually break the tool when I was trying to push out the corners. And that thing just works perfectly. And I don't really use I don't use the Cricut to emboss anything anyway. It was just like an extra thing that was being wasted. All right. So do we love it? Press the fabric with the vinyl underneath. Let me see. Where'd you get your pressing ironing mat? Double-sided tape. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now you know why the flap is there. How easy is that too, right, Louise? Yeah. Super cute, huh? I love it. Alrighty. All right, well, thanks for joining me, guys. I will post the cut requirements in the show notes or whatever it is after I edit it. It takes a while for these videos to edit and upload sometimes, so maybe by tomorrow hopefully I'll have it. The next one we're going to be doing is, I haven't set a date for it yet. It is coming with your club shipment. It's a fun, you could say gift type of bag. I don't want to give too much away, but it's a fun one that you may have already seen because the video tutorial is from somebody that we all know and love. I slightly altered the pattern a little bit just with some pre-done steps so that we didn't have to do all of that. But it's really fun. I made 2 of them the other day like that. I'm going to be giving a lot of these at Christmas, I think. So anyway, stay tuned for that, okay? All right, I hope you guys have a good Sunday. Sunday fun day. Okay, bye.